can listen to this practice wherever it is that you find yourself today. You can be sitting down, you can be laying down, you can even be stretching and doing things, if that's what you got to do. And hopefully, wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would prefer to listen to this practice while being in a still position, you can just let now be the time where you let yourself fidget, adjust, stretch, or move your body in whatever ways your body wants to move. Really doing your best to not think about these movements at all or worrying about what anything looks like, but coming more fully into your sense of feeling as you enter a curious perspective and become curious about what movements feel good in your body. Become curious about how it feels to roll out the shoulders, maybe, or the neck, the wrists or the hands, shoulders, hips, just trusting your own instincts when it comes to movement as you let your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, and joints. And if what intuitively feels good in your body at any time is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. While also knowing that there is no rush whatsoever, and that you can continue to move and adjust yourself throughout this practice whenever you have the need to. But if you would prefer to listen to this practice while being in a dedicated, still position, then you may make your way there if you aren't already. Just checking in that your spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. As you feel a slight lift of the crown of your head and a slight heaviness in the base of your spine. As you feel that center line of your body straightening and lengthening. The space from the base of your spine all the way up through the space between the shoulder blades, through the back of the neck, all the way up through the crown of the head. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow your eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you take a moment now to mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full, intentional cleansing breath, calling in fresh new air into the body, almost watching as you fill up with air to every corner and edge of you, as you hold that for a moment when you are full, as you experience the sense of fullness, and you slowly exhale all of that out of you. Exhaling bit by bit, as you gently pull the navel in toward the spine, to just push any last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here, to now stay and experience the sense of emptiness in the body, as you allow your next breath to come in as it's needed. And you can continue to breathe in this slow, intentional, exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you, without any need to worry about the actual length of these inhales, your exhales, and the pauses on either side. But we are simply allowing each of the 4 parts of your breath to be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. As we intentionally communicate to our nervous system through our slow, intentional breath, that right now is a time to slow down, to let go, to release. And you can continue to breathe in this slow, intentional, exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. But at any point, if you haven't already, then you may release this guidance over your breath altogether. As you step back and up in your mind into the role of the observer or the role of the witness. As you shift back into that curious perspective, into the perspective where you are no longer the one guiding or controlling the breath, but you are simply watching as your own body breathes you, just as it does every single night in your deepest state of sleep. Your body breathes, your heart beats, and your organs function exactly as they should, all on their own without any of your doing. And so letting now be a time where you simply watch these processes as they happen. Remembering all of the hard work your body is constantly doing to keep you alive. Even when there has been disease present in the body, or even if there is currently disease or pain or illness present in the body, your body is still doing a well enough job to keep you alive, to keep you here and able to perceive all it is that you perceive and hear the words I'm saying, feel what it is you are feeling, and perceive whatever it is that you perceive. And that in and of itself is our greatest gift. This life, these bodies, they are a pure gift. And when life gets hard, as it always does, when there is pain and suffering and bad things that happen in our life, it can be really easy to forget that this life and this body is a gift. We have to remember that even the pain and the sorrow and the more negative aspects of life that don't feel as good as the great parts of life, even those darker parts of life are just as much a part of life as joy, love, connection, laughter, music, dancing, and so on. And so you are allowed to be exactly who you are in this moment. Whatever unique mixture of things you label as positive and things you label as negative, you are allowed to be that unique mixture. Nothing is ever only one way, especially ourselves. Life is so complicated and has so many layers to it. Our outer world and our inner world is no different. It is complicated. It has many aspects and many layers to each aspect. And it makes sense that when there is something going really wrong in one aspect of our life, that we focus our attention there to try and make it better, to fix it. And oftentimes that's what is needed, and it can be really helpful. But other times we hyperfixate on things we don't have control over that cause us pain. And when we do that, it can be very similar to getting upset at the moon when it's in its new moon phase, when it's not reflecting any light. Or like getting upset at the trees when they shed their leaves in the fall. You are a force of nature, and every force of nature moves through phases of growth, expansion, and bright light, and also seasons of death and decay, shedding, seasons of darkness, and hiding almost. And we are not meant to escape these cycles and phases that we move through. We are simply meant to move through them. Just like the moon is not expected to be full every single night. And it would be quite unsettling and strange if there was a full moon every night, or if the seasons never changed. And if you think about it, one of the main reasons that we appreciate a full moon is because we don't see it every night. It happens once a month. And oftentimes it's cloudy on those nights. So maybe you see a couple full moons a year. And that is a very special, magical, wonderful thing. There is nothing wrong with the moon because it doesn't shine its light on you all the time. And so there is nothing wrong with you when you are in the shadows, when you're in a season of death and decay, when you are shedding layers of yourself, when you are hiding. You are allowed to be in that phase of life, while simultaneously knowing and trusting that the only constant is change, and that this too shall pass. Every storm runs out of rain, and this phase will change, because no phase lasts forever. And you will feel full and bright once again. And so you have permission to comfort yourself however you need to if you are in darkness. And you also have permission to shine as bright as you can if you feel full and bright and whole right now. You have permission to make the most of the goodness and the light that you feel when you are feeling it. And shine that light for others in the darkness, reminding them that they too will shine again. And maybe even letting yourself absorb any warmth that you feel, any light, any strength, any power that you feel. Letting yourself absorb and store that within you, so you have that little bit of extra strength to carry you through the darker seasons that are to come. Followed by lighter seasons, followed by darker seasons, and everything in between. And the best that we can do in these lives, in these bodies, is experience our own personalized human experience with as much grace and as little resistance as possible. Accepting what is here, accepting our world and our life circumstances, along with our personal circumstances, while remembering that accepting doesn't mean that you like it, or agree with it, or want it to be this way. It simply means that you acknowledge the way that it is. And so you are allowed to accept this world and yourself for exactly as it already is, while simultaneously having goals and aspirations for a new world, for a new life, to grow in a different direction. You have the capacity to hold both of these within you, both of these realities. All of these realities, your past, your present, and your future. And you can allow your past to be proof that you are strong enough to continue on into the future. You have already survived so many things that, if given the option, you would choose to not experience or to not have to go through. But you've gone through them. You've come out the other side. And you have survived. You are here. And so you will continue to surprise yourself, to thrive, and to keep going into the future with as much of yourself as you can bring, as much of your attention, awareness, as much as your heart. The essence that makes up who you are. The essence that makes up you. Tuning in to the rhythm of your own heartbeat now. As you feel the rhythm of your own soul. And the steady background beat to every single moment of your existence. Remembering how much this heart has carried you through. And remembering that this heart will continue to carry you through the rest of your life. And so if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can now let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward Heart Center. As you just feel this contact of your palms and fingertips to one another, and you let your heart lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. Just feeling all of this power generated through you. As you now call in a final deep and full breath of air into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you, the most you have today. And as you exhale, letting go of anything at all you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. So you take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you, thank you, thank you.